and good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us again on the Sparkle of Light chat show. Tonight, we have an amazing guest all the way from Oregon, USA. But before we bring our lovely guest on, let's chat to Alice and see what's happened this week for the pair of us. Alice, how are you?
I'm all right. Yeah, I'm absolutely fine. Yeah, busy week, But when I say busy week, I mean busy week with the family. So it's been quite nice. Yeah, so it's been quite nice. I had my grandchild up, and it was lovely. So we had some nice quality time together. So it was really nice. Yeah. What about you, Judith? You been busy this week?
Well, I was going to rush to get my nail fixed today, but it broke, so I didn't get there in time. I actually started Tai Chi. I started Tai Chi yesterday.
Very good.
My grandchildren kept saying to me, "What's Tai Chi?" And I went, "Mr. Miyagi." The Karate Kids. That's the only way I could explain it to them. But yeah, no, I've had a nice time. I've been busy in the background doing a lot of things, but it will all come out in due course. So,
oh, lovely. Good. That's good.
Yeah,
it's been quality time here, but it has been for me. So I'm still kind of resting just now, so I'm quite enjoying my time with the family. So it's good. Yeah.
But isn't that what it's all about?
Yeah, absolutely.
And sometimes life, our spiritual side can get so busy, and maybe we can find balance hard. I think we all find balance hard on our spiritual because we all love our spiritual journeys. But we sometimes don't realize just how much we can miss out.
Yeah, exactly. And I think you have to, prioritize as well and just get, as you say, get that balance, So it's so important, to be able to do that. And for anybody out there listening, get the balance back in your life.
Absolutely. And I know with our grandchildren, it definitely brings out the inner child. It brings out that fun side, and it reminds us that life shouldn't always be as serious as we let it be sometimes. So it's good to have that kind of that gap and space and just time for family and to catch up on life itself. It's really good you're feeling better.
Yeah. I'm getting there.
Yeah, you're looking well. You're looking really you're looking full of energy, and you're looking well. So you are. I was all excited today because I thought it was my hair appointment today, and I was putting it off, and it's not. It's tomorrow. But that's something to look forward to. But your hair's lovely. You have it all down straight, and it's lovely.
Yeah. So well, I got my hair done last week, and I was desperate to get my hair done, and I thought I'm going to go for a little fringe this time, just for a little change. I think it's good to, well, you can't change your face, so you can change your hair, can't you? So
well, that's it. Listen, I keep putting it off because I keep going to grow, and then I end up getting it chopped off anyway. So I'm really looking forward till tomorrow to just get my hair done. It'll just feel like a new me again. So will we bring our lovely guest on?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I've been looking forward to having our lovely guest tonight. Yeah, quite excited to have him on the show tonight.
No, me too. So I'd like to introduce our lovely guest. Our lovely guest tonight is all the way from Oregon in the USA. His name is Miguel Gonzalez, and I hope I've pronounced that correctly. Miguel is a psychic medium, but he's also a spiritual artist. So not only does he connect with your loved ones, he is able to produce the most beautiful portraits of your loved ones in spirit, which is a unique gift in itself. So although Miguel has developed his journey like ourselves over the years, it did start very young with Miguel. So we're quite excited. We'll bring Miguel on and let's hear his journey from him.
Oh, you're waiting on me doing that. Sorry.
Yeah.
There you are.
Hi everyone. Hi Judith.
Hi Miguel. I hope you'll get used to me and Sarah does have a laugh. But it's so lovely to introduce and to bring you on and welcome you to the show, Miguel, and all the way from USA.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for inviting me. I'm excited to be here today with you both.
We're excited for you to join us and to share your story. As I was introducing you, I touched on your journey from a very young age. You had experiences. When did it all start, your journey, the spiritual side? Going back, when was it first? When did it start for you, Miguel?
Yeah, my first conscious awareness of having communication with spirit was when I was 26. But I can think back to many situations when I was younger that I can understand now were spirit. And I was reflecting on this a while ago where there were things where spirit, in a way, guided me to move out of danger. And I heard them in my ear. And now I understand where it's coming from or where it stemmed from. So it wasn't until I was 26, about to turn 27, when I had a visitation from the Lady of Guadalupe. And I woke up immediately from that, and I could feel her presence and essence in the room. And then consecutively 2 days after that, she continued to come into the space. And so then that opened the door to communicate with my grandma. And I could feel her and I could hear her. And, being new to all of this and just being human, we have our doubts of the reality if this is true. And so I would ask her, how do I really know it's you? And so she would start telling me things about the family that I wasn't aware of. And then I would ask my mom, and then if she didn't know, they would later come to be true that I would find out. And so that was part of the confirmation to build this trust and recognition of spirit.
It's beautiful because I know when I was reading a lot of your bio, you mentioned you come from a strong Catholic background, religious background. Personally, myself, I came from a strong religious background too, with my mum.
But yeah, I did as well. Yeah.
Yeah. When did that change? When did you start to feel that there's more? There was more to that?
That, to be honest with you, all throughout my childhood, something just didn't feel right with what they were telling me or what was being shared with me. The concept of there being a God that judged you in terms of you're going to heaven or hell in that sense of eternity, but something that never sat with me and I wanted to understand. And so as I grew older, I started to, in a way, journey on my own. And part of that journey was the fact that I had to move away from home to go to college. And so that time away from home really placed me in a fresh new environment where there weren't these external, thoughts or ideas of how I should think about God or spirituality. And so that opened the way for this internal questioning to start to really blossom and to, over time, start to receive that connection and start to understand what was going on.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I can understand that. Yes.
Yeah, it is that, like you say, religion, well, the faith that we were in as well, you were very much told, don't do this, don't do that, and you're playing with the devil and all that kind of concept, and yeah, fear was very much based in it. You'll not go to heaven, you go to hell, etc. And I think as you get older, then you start questioning things and then think, oh, wait, there's something not quite right about all of this, because that's not what I feel, and I think, instead of being dictated to, you're actually sensing your own feelings and what you feel is right. And then spirit are working with you and opening that door for you. So I'm glad that you found your pathway with that, Miguel. I'm really glad that you did, where did you learn? Did you go into training to do your spirit art, or was that just something that was very natural that came with you as you processed through your journey with Spirit World?
It was a combination of taking, short workshops and also my own intrigue and curiosity into it. So it was a combination of the two. But I feel like it really came more from the desire to blend my art background with the mediumship, because I went to college for fine art. So my background is in drawing and painting. And when I came across,
Yeah.
Coral Polge and the other medium that I can't think of at the moment, I saw the potential for what could happen with the art. And that's what started to inspire this direction that I was putting my effort into. And it was quite beautiful, but also very much like a roller coaster. And that it was really learning more about myself more than anything through this journey. And it was about surrendering, letting go of the expectations, and just simply honoring the space in which I was present and allowing for what was meant to be to happen in that moment.
Miguel, were you always a very creative person? Were you always drawn to art and being, very creative from a young age, or did that come later years?
I've always been very creative ever since I was little. I can reflect on my first drawings being of the Lady of Guadalupe, who was Mother Mary. Back to the age of 5 and 6, I wanted to draw, I wanted to paint, I wanted to create, and so that's where all of this stems from.
I'm listening, but I'm writing. And as you started to speak there, a lady went, "Yeah, yes." Did you hear? Yes. And I'm being told there's a lady here, and there's an Italian connection. So I don't know who she's with, but can you take a lady with an Italian connection?
I believe there is a beautiful lady that helps with the spirit portraits. I'm wondering if that is her.
It could be, because it was very clear. She went, "Yes," when I asked the art question. And it's interesting, Miguel, because when I was at school, I was not a creative person and like that, with artwork and things. And I can remember sitting in my art classes, and I would look around and people were drawing bowls of fruit and they were doing different things. And I can remember thinking, why can I draw so well? And I couldn't draw. And for years, right up until my adulthood, until about 7, 8 years ago, our middle daughter said to me one day she was going to draw, and I said to her, "You don't draw." And she says, "No, but I'm going to try it." So we're very challenged. We're sore losers. So we always have to try and do competitions and do wee challenges. So we started to challenge each other to draw. And all of a sudden I could draw. And I couldn't believe it, but I know Spirit was helping me. But I used to say to our daughter, "Can you do art homework for you?" I used to do her art homework and send it in. But that's why I was asking, because whether I was shutting it out when I was young and I just didn't believe in it, I could do it. But all of a sudden I could do it in my later years. So it's interesting, but not like what you do. That's a gift in itself. Was it always like that, or were you into the art in a spiritual way, but it moved into the portraits?
Yeah, I was into art, and then it moved into the portraits. So at the time that I started to awaken to spirit, I was just about done with school. I had already been done with school, and then that's when I started to awaken to spirit communication. And that's when, after a year, I think maybe, of developing and sitting in circles, that I started to try to put the 2 and 2 together. So it's something that came about later in my journey. And it's something that I still sit with at times, but I've come to to this place of feeling comfortable with it, where I just let it rest. When it needs to be brought up, we bring it up, and I know that Spirit's going to be there to direct where it's meant to be. So that's been really, really wonderful to experience as well.
That's
I've actually watched work. I've watched you work, Miguel, and I know you've been on Sparkle Light spiritual events, etc., online as well. You know, and Jennifer Rose, I know she's got hers as well. So that's where I met you, really. And you do have a beautiful presence when you work the spirit world. You can almost feel spirit right there with you. And your pictures and your portraits, etc., are absolutely beautiful. They're really, and you can really see the essence of spirit world in the pictures as well. When you're doing your spirit art, Miguel, do you feel spirit is actually using your hand to do it all? Can you feel yourself changing with it? For you normally we do normal artwork and it's just your own hand that's doing it. Do you feel the change when you work the spirit world, that they're actually doing it for you?
Yeah, it does feel different. I do feel that in some degree it's this partnership when we're doing the spirit portraits. And the difference when doing a spirit portrait is that I do and I am aware of the energy and presence of spirit. And so I feel a sense of them taking this gentle control. I do feel myself going into a light state of trance.
Yeah.
And I then start to feel the influence. And it's a combination of clairvoyance and also them taking control of the hand as well. So it's those two that merge the portraits. And it also can be sometimes that I just need to start drawing and just feel, and it just starts to happen. So it's a combination of the clairs, but I do feel that control that the spirit world is taking, and the less that I try to control, the more that they come forward. And so that is part of the journey here, is just learning how to surrender and trust.
Yeah. Have you been to the UK yet, Miguel? Have you been to the UK yet?
Unfortunately, not yet. I hope that in the future I get that wonderful opportunity to.
Yeah, it would be lovely.
Yeah.
It would be lovely. Yeah.
Well, Miguel, you mentioned the lady who helps you in spirit with the portraits. Do you have the lady helps you with the portrait, or would you work between a few different like artist people, as in spirit artists?
You know, I think that as of now, it's a lady. Her name is Marie. She's the one that's been working with me for a while, but I was aware of a gentleman working with me in the beginning. And so I've noticed that change.
So has your style changed when they changed?
I would say so. When I look back to some of the drawings before and to the ones that we're doing now, there is a bit of a change in the way that they come forward. So I think it does have to do with their energy as well. But one thing that, when was it? Perhaps it was last year, before I was starting a demonstration, and it was, I think, for Jennifer, that we were doing something together, and I was so aware of Marie there taking control, my guide Braveheart, and there was another guide. There was like these three guides that surrounded me, and each one had a specific role for what they were supposed to do. And so that's when I became aware of, we're really a team. You know, one is taking control of the drawing, one is helping the loved ones come in, and one is managing the energy, making sure things are balanced. And so that was really beautiful for me to be able to experience with them.
Yeah. So what have you got planned for this year?
Ooh, that's a good question. You know, I think that this year I'm really decided to take a gentle step back, I'll say, and in a sense to just sit with spirit a little bit more. I feel that there are there's more to come, but I need to spend that time with them to allow for that to flourish or develop in the way that they need it. And so I decided to just take that space to be with them.
It takes you to do that sometimes. Yeah, it does. I think it's good to do that. Alice, you've done that there recently and you're feeling the benefits of it. But I think it's
Yeah.
good to do that, yeah. I like to take away and
Yeah.
just spirit.
But I
Yeah,
will
I think
say,
it's important.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Sorry.
I'm sorry. I think it is important to do that. I just remembered I do have I'm doing the is it the Christmas service that we're doing with Jennifer, the Sunday service, and then I'll be joining you, Alice, again. So those are two things that I have.
That's right. Yeah, we're doing our Christmas podcast on the 17th of December, which will be really good. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that with quite a few guests coming on. So it'll be good.
Yeah. Aren't you singing, Alice? Didn't you say you were going to sing?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'll sing and chase everybody away.
My partner hangs my headphones because it's really he just hangs until they go flat. That says it all.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, good. So, what about I know you do your mediumship, but do you work with cards as well? Do you do any card work?
You know, it's very rare when I do, and I mainly just do it for myself. I'll pull a card. But I personally just like connecting and tuning into spirit and just allowing for the information to come through in that way. I found that that's what works best for myself, so I like to just nourish that as best as I can.
Yeah. Do you see? You mentioned about using the cards for yourself. I do that. But do you not find, and I know Alice, you use the cards, I used to always think, gosh, I'm quite selfish because I just love them for me. But I think there's a time and a place when we're meant to work with them more. Because recently I've always had my cards, but I've got the original Wilder cards. I can't remember their name and they're right in front of me. And recently, I've been really drawn to those, and I've never have been. And I'm even understanding them in my own way. And I'm like, something's changing. I'm meant to understand these now, whereas before I wasn't really meant to tune in with these cards. So, would you ever consider making your own, Well?
You know, that's something that has crossed my mind. Maybe in the future, but at the present moment, it's not something that I feel quite drawn to. Maybe if I start using them a little bit more, then maybe that's when I'll be inspired to create my own personal deck. But that would be something that would be different.
Yeah.
I tend to when I use the cards, I work with Spirit World, so I always start and I always work the Spirit World, and I'll always say to anybody coming for a reading, throughout the whole reading, the connection with Spirit World will always be there. It'll never be broken, and anything that's drawn from the cards will be spiritually guided through the cards from Spirit World. I don't use them like tarot cards. I personally do not like tarot cards, but that's my opinion on that. I like to use my angel cards, so I like to use that when I'm working with Spirit World, so, and that's where I get my spiritual guidance is through Spirit World, and during the reading, then it connects and it works really, really well, but I know everybody's different how they work and how they work with Spirit World as well.
But I think what my issue is, I just can't stop talking. I like the communication. I've always been that chatterbox where if I'm going out, I'll go to I have these conversations, and I even have words with them when something maybe, and I'm really frustrated, and I'm trying something that they keep telling me to try, and then in the end, I sit down, I have words with them, and then afterwards I think, okay, that was lessons I needed to learn. Sorry, guys, sorry. But that communication, I was always told, keep that skill strong. And I know, Alice, you use that with your cards, but I think it's because I'm a chatterbox. I think it's because I just can't shut up.
I think we all, you know, we're all different the way we work with spirit world, and that's the blessing and the joy with working with
Yep.
spirit. Like, you know, well, you work with your spirit art. There's no way I would be working with spirit art because I cannot draw to save myself. You know, but you have that gift there. You've got that beautiful gift there, and spirit will give you your strong faculties as well. And I do believe, you know, they work with us in our own strengths, and they build us up in our own weaknesses as well. You know, so never say never, I suppose, but because I would never have thought I would have been doing this, you know, because I was never someone to be in the forefront when it came to speaking. But dancing, when I was a dancer, that was completely different, you know. But speaking, oh no, you know, you would never have seen me do. If somebody had told me I was going to do this, I would be saying, nope, you've got the wrong person there. So I suppose never say never. You never know. If it's meant to happen and it's meant to be, it will be, won't it? Do you agree with me on that? Is there things that you've been pushing your boundaries on, or, you know, are there things just now that they're pushing your boundaries on?
Yeah, you know, I think that's really beautiful, the way that you said that spirit will help us very much all around. It's not one specific area, but it's to balance everything. And I would say that there are quite a few areas. One thing that that I was talking to them about just a while ago, that I'm on year 4 of learning about detachment, and it's been very difficult. And it's a 6-year journey or cycle that I'm on, and I have 2 more years. And my God, it has been very difficult at times, but I feel like I am learning a lot more. I think what I'm learning more than anything, that as long as I'm good physically, mentally, and emotionally, then everything else can be all right as well. And so that's been one of the biggest things that I've been really learning about the most. And one thing also as well is, I feel that maybe this is just because I'm getting older too, that I'm realizing that as we're doing this work, we also have to take care of ourselves, with our mental, our physical, so that we're able to be, you know, that vessel for spirit, for them to come in and to work through. And that's really become very present in my life within the last few years, that I have to be well in order as well for them to really come in and work through me as best as possible.
Yeah, I can understand that. Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you cope with your energy, though? How do you cope with your energy? This is something I wanted to ask you. Spirit do take a lot of our energy, you know. How do you recharge? I think that's the question I was trying to say.
Yeah, you know, I'm naturally a homebody, so I stay home a lot. I require extra alone time, and I enjoy my alone time. So that is my way of recharging, from connecting with spirit if I do feel that it's affected my energy. I mainly find it that when I do trance healing and I do it for a long period of time, that's when I do feel the effects in my body. Like, I have to eat right away when I'm done. Like, I have to have like a burger or something to ground back into it's but it's just really spending time with myself, doing the things that make me feel good, and mainly just trying to ground myself back into this reality is most important. I realized is to staying here and not out there when I'm trying to recharge from those experiences.
Yeah. What do you do, Judith? What do you do? What do you do to recharge?
Oh, I love to meditate. I just love meditating. I love to dance and sing. And not that, listen, I wasn't a trained dancer like you. Give me a couple of gins and I'm off. I like it, have a good time. But I wasn't a trained dancer. Like, I know you're creative side. You're creative. I have to be honest. Only takes one or two and then I'm off the whole stuff. I love dancing. But, even dancing is very creative. You're being very creative and like your ballet, your dance. But personally for me, I love music. I love to sing, but everybody goes like this when I start singing. So I used to kind of think it sounded okay, but now I just sing anyway. I really do sing, but it also helps me stay centered and in a happy place. I just love that. I love meditating. Some people go, you shouldn't meditate, this length of time. You should only meditate a wee taste of time. But it's so very good. And you can channel and you can work in meditation and help yourself in so many ways that I've learned to just allow myself to be happy. That's the most, just allowing myself to be happy. What do you do?
For me, for grounding, I'll probably come off of here and go and watch Coronation Street or EastEnders or something like that. But if it was during the day, I'd go for a nice walk. If I wanted to kind of chill and blend in with myself more, then I'd probably meditate, But for grounding, I like to go out in the fresh air, get a nice walk, or as I say, just pop the TV on and watch one of my favorite kind of programs, and get myself back into the now, But certainly meditation is something I like to do when I feel I need healing, or when I also feel I really need to connect with the spirit world. We really need to have a chat here, So, yeah.
But, my partner used to laugh at me and I'd say, you need to go and hug a tree. As if my head was cut. Being in nature is really, it does something. It just changes something, the energy, the air, the vibrations, everything. And I think sometimes maybe COVID has made it harder. But I think since COVID, we tend to stay in more, and we aren't out as much. Have you found your routine changing, Miguel, from post-COVID?
I think that for myself, it stayed the same. I didn't change much. I was already somebody that stayed in quite a bit, but I do find that going outside is very, very, does miracles to the body spiritually. I have noticed that for myself when I'm in here, and maybe it just becomes a little too overwhelming with what I'm experiencing, and I step outside and boom, it's just like this whole change in perspective. So there's great healing with nature. So absolutely.
But you probably get lovely weather. Miguel probably gets really nice weather for all that, the sunshine and the warmth.
You will, you will.
Go on holiday.
You can go to the ocean. You can go to the ocean. I'd love to be able to walk to the ocean. Yeah, and just all that beautiful sun. I go to the Loch side, so I go to Loch Lomond and I have a little walk along there. But I don't have the weather that you've got. So, but here you can't have all, can you?
We've got the sea, we've got the beach. We live in a seaside town, so we live right at the sea. But no, we don't have the temperatures and the sunshine. What is it like over with you now, Miguel? As in, like, weather-wise?
So here in Oregon, you get all seasons. So we're just about to end our summer, and we're starting to move into fall. So we've been getting some really nice, cool weather, which has been really nice. But it's actually it's really good to experience that shift. I'm excited for fall, for the leaves to change. It looks really beautiful here. The trees get all orange and red and all these beautiful colors. So I'm so excited for that season to really be here. But I love the ocean too. It's a little bit of a drive for me, but when I can, I do go out there. I just love being by the water. It's such a healing
Yeah, me too.
experience.
Yeah,
Quite
I love it.
cleansing.
It's just the best healing. It's the best healing ever. It really is. Yeah.
Yeah. So Miguel,
Oh, there's a hesitation.
sorry, Miguel, coming from, I wanted to ask you again about, when you were brought up with your faith, and you realized something was something else missing. Did your family understand, because of their faith? Or Alice was very lucky. She was brought up in a spiritual family who were very open and spiritual, whereas I wasn't. I was brought up with my mum raised us, and she had a really strong faith, but she didn't understand, the spiritual. She does now, but I wasn't. Me and Alice had very kind of different upbringings in that sense. You were very lucky, Alice, your family and your dad, and they were very spiritual. How did you find that, Miguel?
I have to say that I feel that I was very lucky to have the family that I have, because they were very open. And I believe they were very open because so many of my family members have had their own experiences with spirit. And even just growing up, I'd always hear, oh, we're going to see and so the healer because I have this pain. And so there's always been a connection connecting with healers and psychics without necessarily giving that term or labeling them that. So there was already that awareness of that possibility, but not in the sense exactly of full spirit communication. So that was new for them to experience, but they were very open to accept it as a reality. And so very lucky that my family's been open to that, and that they're willing to join me on the journey to go see a medium or experience a seance or something. They're happy to do it too.
Yeah, that's good. Your family was, Alice, weren't they? Your dad was very
Yeah.
spiritual.
Yeah. Well, my dad was very spiritual in a different way, though. My mum believed in the spirit side of life, whereas my dad kept to the kind of Roman Catholic side of it. I can remember, though, he never said much about it. I think he was a bit frightened of it, to be fair. But I do remember when he was a lot older and he came to the centre and I had a church service going on, and he was in the wheelchair, and I can remember him saying, "There's your mum over there," and I said, "Where?" And he said, "She's standing at the corner and she's waving." And he says, "Can't you see her?" And I said, "Oh yeah, I can see her, Dad. Yeah." And I couldn't see her. I couldn't really see her, but I humoured him, bless him. And I thought, is it the Alzheimer's, or is it because he wasn't full Alzheimer's, but as they say, when you've got Alzheimer's, it kind of drift in and out, so between the afterlife and here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he said, when you were demonstrating, he said, "My dad was standing beside you." He said, "Your granddad was right beside you." And he said, "I think there might be something in this." And that was the first time I think he ever admitted that he thought there was something in this, And now he definitely knows, because he's on the other side now and he never leaves me alone. So he's always back and forward. Bless him.
That's beautiful, because you did have that connection with him, and although he maybe didn't realize it at the time, like Alzheimer's, my mother-in-law, she passed of that. Well, she didn't pass of that, but she's experienced that also. But it takes them to times in their lives, and they see loved ones, and it opens the awareness where they don't have the same blockages.
It does, definitely.
Yeah, I think that's beautiful, because that can bring so much comfort.
Yeah. Do you know something, though? Do you know what's just dawned on me there when you're talking about opening your awareness?
Yeah.
See, when I went for my test,
Yeah.
I was given midazolam, you know, for the test I was going through. And see, that night, I honestly, my spiritual awareness that night was way open more than ever it's been. You know, I actually was physically seeing spirit with my own eyes, not in my, you know, the mental capacity of seeing spirit inside.
Yeah.
I was seeing spirit with my own eyes, you know.
Yeah.
And I mean, I said when I said to my husband, he says, "Oh, it'll just be all the drugs." He said that you've been on.
Give me more then.
You'll be all right in the morning, darling. You'll be all right in the morning. I said, "But no, I definitely seen." Because I did. I seen my dog. It's full. I seen my dog. You know, when I walked into the kitchen, turned around, and there she was walking right over. You know, and I seen her solid. You know, and then I definitely seen my other dog as well. It's all dogs I seen. I've never seen anybody else, you know.
Dad's really strong with you right now. Dad's playing with it. Yeah. I think Dad wants to be a part of this show.
Yeah, I know. Oh, he would love all this. So he loved he loved a good laugh as well.
You know, I laugh because we talk about opening awareness, and last Thursday I was up with Debbie Charlton. She's a lovely Transylvanian review, and I took up the caco. I can never say that right. It's something like that. Caco. You know that cocoa drink. But anyway, I took it up, and I said to Debbie, "Okay, we'll do a lovely wee ritual, and you can say a nice prayer, and we'll sit down with spirit, and we'll just drink it." And we kept it just water, no sugar, just pure. And we said our little prayer. We snapped the spirit. But it was so thick to get down. And see, by the time it opened your awareness, and by the time we finished it, we were looking in the bottom of the cups, and I said to Debbie, "Can you do tea leaves?" She says, "No." And I went, "Either can I, but I can honestly see love at the bottom of my cup." We spent 40 minutes analysing these cups before we actually started our meditation. But it opened the awareness, it relaxed us, and it allowed the humour and the vibrations and the energy to rise. And, you know, I think Spirit was laughing with us because we were in just such a happy place. So,
and they want it to be fun. They don't want it to be, you know, they don't want us to be scared. They want it to be fun. And when they come to other, you know, I don't know about you, Miguel, but when you also do your readings as well, you'll have parts of it that will be, yes, there will be tears and there'll be upset, but there'll be other parts in it that's funny as well. You know, you've got a whole variation there of emotions. Does that happen with you when you're doing readings or demonstrations?
Yeah, it definitely does. You know, I think that's when their personality starts to come through to give forth the validation that their humor still continues, that spirit of who they were is still eminent in the spirit world. And I think it's really beautiful, you know, to when they bring that into the room, because it just reminds that loved one that's here on the earth that their loved ones are still doing well and that they're loving and embracing the spirit world. So I love that beautiful connection that can happen with the laughs. But Judith, I wanted to ask you, you said you were sitting with Debbie?
Yes, Debbie Charlton.
Was it in your sitting that Padre Pio came with the two of you?
Yes, that was me and Debbie.
Yeah, because I saw the photo and I was just blown away. I thought it was so beautiful. I was so moved by that image. I was like, wow, that's him.
There's so many images. On my group, there's a lot. I put a lot of pictures up. Some's different than Debbie's, and some of Debbie's is different. So we kind of tried to share many different ones. And there's so many. There's one with me sitting and Debbie's beside me, and there's a lady. She's so clear. She's a lady, and she's got her hair and like a wee bit of a hat, and she's her glasses on, and she's crystal clear. sitting beside me, and then there's. I really don't think it's of this love and light being. It wasn't of this world. It was above Debbie, but it came up in like a form with like a tuft, nearly between something between an extra. I want to say like an extraterrestrial, but a tribal person, and kind of combined. And I have a pirate stand beside you, full beard, absolutely amazing. We're doing it again this Thursday. We had so much fun, so we're doing it again. We're going to play. We are, but we always know why spirit are pushing us to have different, connections, and I work very different with my spirit team. I would work in the physical sense, very different. Physical reasons. But I used to think it was strange, but now I love it. I love the way the spirit taught me. They taught me what to do and how to do it. So I love that. When we come together with different, light workers and mediums, it's amazing that like me and Alice have a fantastic time. We love doing the show. We love being ourselves and just spirit, and they're always there in the background, aren't they, Alice?
Yeah.
Me and Debbie have started something with the physical, and because she does trance in a different way and I do the physical in a different way, so we're combining it, and it's we're having some amazing results. Yeah, it's amazing. And we do the lights for really because we want to capture them, and I've got somebody sitting and they look like they're Jamaican. And they're in on the selfie. They're right here beside me, and they're like this for the eyes, and they're smiling, and it's just, I think because Alice, you're like me, and well, I feel you're quite light with your energy, and when we can really just let our God down and trust, spirit do amazing things. The shows and the performances that they can show us, but the things that they can teach us is pretty amazing. I don't know if anybody realised, and I don't know, Alice, if you've shared them yet, but you really should. After the show last week, me and Alice, and spirit just took over. The spirit was so strong around Alice. I was constantly talking to her and going, I know Alice, I know Alice, and I was constantly clipping the pictures. But you should share them. You should share them.
Yeah, we'll share. Yeah. You could see actually my dog in my glasses. You could actually see my dog.
There's one on your dog's right on your shoulders.
That's right. Yeah, on my shoulders, and there's one in my glasses, looking straight out. And then there's a face that I think it was my dad right at the top. There was a face.
It changed quite a lot.
It changed quite a lot. Yeah, it did.
Absolutely.
But it was really. Yeah, the energy of spirit was powerful. Do you ever take photographs, Miguel? Do you ever take photographs when you're maybe sitting in trance? Obviously not you, but somebody taking the pictures for you when you're in trance.
I haven't taken pictures in trance, but I have sat to blend with spirit, and I have been able to capture some things in video sometimes. There was one that I remember. This was the first one that I was really aware of. But I was sitting, and there was literally a blue light shone right behind me. And I was like, where could that blue light come from? And it was from spirit. And it was just really incredible to see that. But sometimes when I'm out with family or at a party or something, I can feel the nudges, like spirit saying, take a picture. And I'll take a picture, and then maybe it's grandpa or somebody's loved one that you could see in the photographs. And I love that. I love when they can show themselves in that way.
I love pictures. I'm constantly saying, like, right, guys, let's take selfies. Come on.
You take selfies.
Don't you? I take selfies. I put one up in my group, and he's right here. And my other guy's here trying to get in, and my wee tribal man's here, and they're all. He's right. His face is. Oh, I have to share it. I'll put it up in the group again, or I'll send it into the chat. But it's crystal
Yeah.
clear. I love taking
Yeah.
selfies. You have to play. You have to.
Incredible.
Yeah. But you know, Spirit has a big job for us all, don't they? You know, we all have a big role to play. And even though we don't realize it right now, going forward, we connect with different people and we do, you know, me and Debbie actually met a good few years ago. And we both said the same thing, but we just didn't say it to each other. But we both thought, now's not the time for me and Debbie to work with each other. And we both understood that. But then now is, and we both understand there's a big purpose. And I very much feel that there's something big going to happen. Something big's going to show and something big's going to happen with the physical and the trance. And I feel that that's 100% why it's happening now. So I'm quite excited for that. But Alice laughs at me because I'm always going, I always say, I'm in. I'm in first and then tell my age. But don't they, Alice? I'm always like, you have to be.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. What about?
Go ahead.
No, it's all right. No, listen. You're going to lose your voice again. It's definitely going to happen. I can feel it. She lost her voice last week. I don't mean anything, but it was great.
No, my partner said to me, "Jennifer, you sound so much better like that." Thank you, chicken. I can't help. I'm just a little chatterbox. I'm not nosy.
I can resist that. I don't know what I was going to ask you.
I always say to my students, you want to be that nosy neighbour over the hedge when you're working with Spirit. You want to know their name. You want to know what they have for breakfast. What are they wearing? What have they planned? I'm that nosy neighbour. I like to ask questions and chat.
I don't know what I was going to ask now.
Yeah.
It's right out of my head.
I'll put myself. I'm in the corner. I'm in the corner. Can't help it.
Yeah, what was I going to ask now? Oh, yeah, I remembered. Yeah, well, have you ever used is it the Ouija board? Is it that how you pronounce it? Ouija board? Ouija board? I've never used it.
You're picking up my language.
I've never used it. You can obviously tell I've never used it. You know, have you ever used that? Have you ever used it?
I tried a spirit board. It wasn't exactly the Ouija board, but it was a spirit board. And that actually was a really fun experience. That was really fun, actually. Yes. That time, a friend of mine was communicating through the board, and that was really emotional just to feel the energy. It was the same as like when spirit gets really close to us, that you feel that love, that emotion. But the difference here is that you're being guided, with the board and your hands towards what they're trying to say or express. So that in itself was really beautiful. I have also done table tipping with my family here, and that was a blast. We did it last year for my birthday, because every year for my birthday, I like to do something with spirit involved and my family. And that year I was like, let me do like table tipping, and we tried it. I had no expectation of anything, but that table moved like no tomorrow. It was incredible. It literally tilted almost till it was flat on the ground. Yeah. It was just amazing. We had so much fun. I love things like that are just exciting.
I need to teach Sheila to do table tipping. I'm going to say to my mum, Sheila, we need to do table tipping at Christmas. We don't have that.
You've just got one tiny wee little finger on it, and it's very, very lightly touching it. And this table is moving.
Oh yeah, I've done it. I love it. With family, you did it with family. You know that what I'm saying is I've done it, but I haven't done it with my mum. So I'm going to have to say to Sheila, we need to incorporate this into our Christmas, into our Christmas thing. Yeah. Miguel, have you any portraits that you can show us that you've completed or that you've connected with? Have you any portraits around you that you can share with us?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I'll have to grab them from back here. Just give me a moment.
That's
I'll grab
okay.
them really quick.
Judith will keep talking, won't you, Judith?
We're already in the corner. Just keep that.
I'll grab them really
You'll
quick.
be fine, Nicole. It's all right.
It's okay. I'm on it.
That's a good job we know each other. Yeah. The portraits he does is amazing, though, isn't it? They're so good. They're so
I've only
good.
seen a few of them, and I thought they were
Oh,
fantastic.
wow. Especially the eyes, Judith. Especially the eyes. It's like looking through the soul of that spirit person. You know, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you. So this one was a sketch that I did of my guide Braveheart. Kind of see it here.
Oh. Wow.
That's amazing. And did you do that in trance as well, or were you consciously drawing? You knew you were drawing it, but
Yes, I was consciously drawing him, so I was aware of it. When I do it, I go into a very light trance where I feel guided and directed, but I'm still aware. I'm still aware of what's going on. So this is a portrait of him, and then later on, I did a more finished, rendered portrait of him, which is this pencil drawing. It's a little hard to see.
Oh, wow.
So I take it he's a native Indian.
Yes.
Okay, that's amazing.
Oh, wow.
That's amazing.
Do you see what I mean about the eyes, though, Judith?
Yeah.
It's like you're really looking into the soul of that spirit person.
It's amazing, like
Just
the detail,
amazing.
the artwork.
And I know this is going to podcast as well, so you won't see. If you want to look on YouTube, you'll be able to see these pictures.
So Miguel, I know you do your beautiful portraits when you're connecting for the clients or for loved ones, but can people contact you and say, I would love you to connect with my father or my grandfather? Can you connect them with them and provide me, and pay you for a portrait, or do they have to? Would you always ask for the sitting, or if they can't get to you, what way do you work that?
Yeah, I like to sit with the person over Zoom and make a link with the spirit world and just see who comes forward. I really have no control. Tell you I'm going to draw your father, I'm going to draw your mother. I really don't have that control. I just surrender to spirit, and whomever wants to come through, I will just allow to come through in that drawing, and that can be a beautiful experience as well, because as I'm drawing, they're also telling me about their life, and I can share with you at the same time what I'm aware of and what they're expressing. And there's no guarantee, because it all depends on the energy and the vibration of that day, but we can definitely make the effort to see what can happen.
They're amazing, aren't they? They're absolutely amazing. The detail in them, like it just looks like a photograph of them, doesn't it? It's really, really amazing. I have an Indian guide, and you'll laugh now after seeing your amazing portrait. You see mine. This is my Indian guide.
Oh, that's beautiful, though.
And he comes with the black and white. He comes with
really
a black
nice.
and white eagle, and that's Chief Little Hawk.
Beautiful.
So I drew that, and I thought, I've never drew in my life. My voice is going now, but my voice is okay, guys. So it's trying to hear.
Okay, but it's just because of the talking. Don't you worry about it.
That's good. That's good. But that was that. I've always kept it, and I should put it in the frame, but I haven't. But the detail that's in yours is it's just like a photograph.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You know, I do have to say that the ones that I've shown you are ones that I spent hours on. So that's what I can produce or create when I'm sitting with the energy for a long time. But if we're meeting for 30 minutes, it's more of a line drawing, um, which will be more like this one here. It's another one of my guides, but it'll be more like this, where it's more line and some
That's
shape.
that's amazing. You do that in 30 minutes.
Yeah, I can do that in 30 minutes. Yeah.
Oh my word.
So what guide is that?
This is my other
What
guide.
guide is that, go?
This is Sam.
I have a guide, Sam.
Okay.
Yeah, I met him in the astral realm, and he gave me his name in the astral realm. I heard him, and I was talking to him. And when I woke up, I looked at my phone, and on my phone, through the smudges of the fingers, was this Native American man on the screen of my phone after I woke up from this experience with him, and that's how I knew, oh, this was real. This was real. And so he's someone that I'm still learning not learn to connect with, but our relationship is still developing, so that he may come through and bring forth what he wants to bring to the world.
Yeah. It's an amazing gift. It truly is an amazing gift. I've
got a question for you. Margaret Wetherell, thank you so much for the question. Have you ever drawn children in spirit world?
I have drawn children in spirit. Yes. Yes, they'll come through as well. So yeah, it just depends on whomever's communicating that. I'll do my best to link in with. If that's a child, then I will do my best to bring them forward.
So Miguel, do you know sometimes our loved ones, they can come forward to us when they passed, or they can come forward as they've been through the spirit realm? Would that vary with yourself in the portraits, whether it's children growing up in the spirit realm, or does it vary as to the age or how they show themselves for their portrait?
It does vary. I've noticed that most of the people like to look younger. So I do see that because I'm aware of that. I am aware that they want to present themselves younger. And there was this one experience that I had, and this is to me the power of spirit. I was drawing this gentleman. He was a husband. And it was like we couldn't settle with the portrait. He kept aging himself in the portrait. I'm like, I was starting to get confused. And I said to the lady, I've drawn your husband. Do you recognize him? But keep in mind, he keeps wanting me to make him older. And she said to me, I've been asking him to show me what he looks like now that he's older. So this is after time that's passed. And I was like, oh, that's what that is. That's what he was trying to do. He was aging himself to show her what he looks like now. And I thought that was just really beautiful.
So can a loved one who's coming for you to have a reading and a spirit, their spirit portrait done, the likes of Margaret asked, could have you drawn children before? Say for someone who lost a child, can they come and say, can you show me what they look like now? Or are you very much it's how they guide it? Or are you, I'm not sure, can that be done?
Say that again for me, sorry.
So I'm using Margaret's question as an example. So say someone lost their child, maybe 10 or 11, or as a young child, but 20 years had went past, and they wanted to maybe see what their child looked like now, like a gentleman as older. Have you ever come across that with a child, or is it usually as they are?
With a child, I haven't had that experience, but I trust and believe that that's what's meant to come through, because that's what that person needs. But I believe it'll make its way through in the portrait, definitely. And I'm sure that spirit will let us know that that's what they're also doing with the drawing, that they're going to bring them forward at at an older age than that from when they passed. Yeah.
But even for you like you were talking about that gentleman, you know, his wife had been asking to let me see what you're like now. You know, that's lovely, isn't it? To have that, that's a beautiful gift. You know,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, you're just so talented. You're really gifted with the art. Like that's just, I think
Oh,
that
the
art.
artwork's
Yeah,
yeah,
it's just
superb, unbelievable. Yeah.
Thank you.
And you can actually tell, that although you're drawing the artwork, you can tell Spirit's got a hand in that, because the picture looks alive. It really does.
Yeah.
You can really see the depth of the spiritual soul in those pictures. They're very, very different from normal art drawings of somebody.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Would you
Yeah.
teach it, Miguel? Would you ever, do you do workshops for people wanting to try and connect into the spiritual side with the spiritual art? I mean, would you run workshops, or do you help people? Do you help mentor people?
I have done a couple of workshops on teaching spirit portraits before, and so that was definitely a beautiful experience. It does require a bit of what I like call training and learning how to create the head of the face, proportions, and everything. But then it's about surrendering that and allowing spirit to influence you with that knowledge that's there. So I have done that in the past, and it's been really fun.
Yeah, I think
What
you would
about
be.
people that can't draw at all? Would it work?
Yeah, absolutely. So the way that I taught these workshops is that I teach you how to draw the face. I teach you how to draw the face first, how to construct it, how to place the eyes where the nose belongs. And then once we have some practice with that, we invite spirit to influence, their energy to overshadow over that and to build on top of it.
Yeah,
I think that would be really interesting.
Yeah.
That would be really interesting. Yeah.
It's
Because
like
I can't.
Yeah, but how detailed and how it's just amazing. You could do so much helping other people. That's linking in with your spirit team, with spirit in such a unique way. To the detail, and like what you said, for 30 minutes, that would have took me probably. I'd sat for that months, and it still wouldn't have looked the same. I just think you could show people so much with it.
That's when you really know that spirit is really working with you, that you could do that in 30 minutes, because that was amazing spirit artwork.
Thank you. And I do want to say to everyone that anything is possible if you just sit with spirit, you surrender, you open your heart, it comes from a good place, and you just allow yourself to be influenced. It doesn't matter if you've never picked up a pencil in your life, spirit will make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
They will make it happen if you allow it to happen. I really believe in that. Because I've seen people that have never, picked up a brush or done anything, and they do it, and it's just this beautiful thing that they create in that moment. It's just a matter of it being that time for them, for that to be present and revealed in their life.
And patient, probably would be to be patient with it.
Oh, patience is a big one. I think when it comes, to development, we definitely have to be patient. I've definitely had to learn that one.
Yeah, it's true. So, have you any plans for doing any more workshops or anything like that, Miguel?
I think that for the moment, I don't have something planned. I know that spirit would like to do that because I feel them encouraging that direction. But I think that will be a little bit further ahead. And if I do, I think it would be more in the realm of trance mediumship. Because I do feel that influence from them. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Have you ever? I love studying the spirit and blending, and I one of my guides, Jacob, he has a sense of humor. me. He's just a giggler and he loves to laugh. But he was being very serious, and he took my hand and he lifted it and he turned it over and he put a gold pen in my hand. And then he turned my hand around to tell me. So I know he's telling me to write, but he writes, so he wants me to write with him. But he did that and turned my hand and put the pen in it. I don't know. I think art to that level is a different league. It's really a different league. Do you not, Alice? Do you think that's a different league to spirit writing?
Yeah. Well, it is, but you're. I mean, even if you sit in trance, and you do, scrying writing as well, or I like doing writing with Spirit World. I get a lot of my spiritual poetry from Spirit, and I really enjoy it. I really enjoy doing that with them. Yeah.
Do you know, it's just fascinating. It's seeing where you're going to go with it, because Spirit hasn't gave you that talent to not do anything big with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
there's something coming, and they gave you that for a purpose. Yeah. Something much bigger.
Thank you. Well, I look forward to.
So, before we come to a close, well, do you want to?
No.
Wow, I think you just froze there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you froze.
Can you still hear me, everyone?
Yeah. I can hear you now.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah. There's been a couple of glitches on the system that I've noticed during the show, but hopefully it's all right when it goes into the record and I can sort it out. Okay. But before we come to a close and do this, brings us to a close here. Do you have anything you'd like to share with us?
Yes, I would. I would love to. I've said this several times, and I feel I'll always say it. It's just my personal encouragement for people to connect with their spirit guides. It has absolutely changed my life to become aware of those that help me on the other side and build that relationship. They truly feel like family to me. And I know that they are also waiting to be recognized by whomever they are working with here on the world. Their name is not so much important, but just recognizing them by their essence, their presence, their love that they bring, because they're willing to help you and to want to guide you on your life. And so I really encourage people to find the time to simply sit in the silence and invite those beautiful souls that have chosen to help us here on earth to gather around you and inspire you and guide you. And so that's what I would like to share.
Oh, that's lovely.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'd like to share. I have something Halloween night actually. I've got Halloween night coming up. I keep pausing here. It keeps freezing, so I don't know if I'm speaking over anybody or not because it keeps holding. But I have Spark of Light events on Wednesday, the 25th of September, Arden Cable Hotel in Helensburgh. That's an old one I've got up, isn't it? Yeah, that's an old one I've put up. So just ignore that. But it is, just ignore me. But I get the right one. Because the 25th of September is well by. It's well by. Yeah.
Halloween special.
Where are we? Okay. Yeah, I've got Halloween special, the 31st. It's the 31st of October, and it will be myself and spiritual medium and psychic Anne Shaw who will be doing that night. And please come along. The tickets will be through Eventbrite, and there's a competition to be won for anyone buying online. There's a competition. I think it's 2 free prizes to be won on the night for that competition. There's also a competition as well, and it's for the best Halloween costume on the night. So there's a competition prize for that. You don't have to dress up, if you don't want to.
Are you going fancy dress?
Sorry?
Are you going fancy
Sorry?
dress? Are you going
No,
in?
I'm not. I'll have.
You have to have a costume.
Okay, so as I was saying, right, so it's a fancy dress costume, okay? So if anybody who's in the competition will win a prize for that competition, okay? The best fancy dress on the night. Yes, I will be dressed up in some form, but
Yes.
on the evening as well. But it's not about me, it's about the prizes for the competition for those who's coming dressed up as Halloween. So there will be a competition on that night for them, not for me, but for them. And if you're interested, you can also contact me as well at my email address. So it's alicetrevorrow@gmail.com or through Eventbrite as well. So I hope that's went all right. There's definitely a whole glitch in the system tonight. So everything seems to be freezing up on me. But hopefully it goes okay when I put it to podcast on Thursday night and it's went all right on YouTube. I hope so. Fingers crossed.
It'll be good. That'll be good. So guys, before we finish off, prophetic episode 12 of Prophetic News, I didn't get out this week. Spirit have more to add. So episode 12 of Prophetic News will be out next week on Judith Miller YouTube channel. Also, Marcus, I see Marcus is on the chat. He will also be joining me to do episode 12. Last episode with every episode, all the validations, Spirit validate everything themselves. It's amazing. It's not on this Monday. It's on the following Monday. Marcus, you've threw a spanner in the works now. You've confused me. I think it's on next Monday. Not this Monday, next Monday. Got it, Marcus? It's on next Monday. So yes, join in for episode 12. But all that leaves for me now is to say, Miguel, you have been a brilliant guest, amazing journey. And
yeah, it's been amazing. Thank you so much for coming on.
Yes, thank you for sharing. And it's just amazing what you do. It's amazing what you do with the art and your connection to spirits. It's beautiful. So thank you for sharing that with us. And I look forward to you joining us on the 17th. For the Christmas special, Sparkle of Light Christmas special. And Alice, as always, lovely night, love to connect, and we always have a great time on the show. So guys, for now, listen, please, thank you for joining us. Take care. We'll be back next week. Instead of Tuesday, we're back next Wednesday. Okay? Isn't that correct?
Yes, because Tuesday's my birthday and I'm 21 again. So yeah. I know it keeps repeating. The number keeps repeating itself every year. It's great. It's great.
I know. I've never aged. Yeah, I just think it's a spiritual thing. So please, we'll wish Alice happy birthday for next Tuesday. And as she goes and parties, guys, we'll be back on Wednesday. I'm going to Scotland. We'll be back on Wednesday night instead of the Tuesday. So we will. So for tonight, guys, listen, please take care. God bless. And we all send our love. Good night.
Thank you, Alice. And thank you, Judith, for having me. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Thank you so much.
It's lovely to have you, Miguel.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Good night.
Pass.
Hold on. No, not yet. Not, not yet. It's just not ending. It's not ending. It's not ending yet. So just bear with me. What's going on?
What can I say, guys? We're still going. We're still live. I'm on my own. A party for one. I've lost everyone. I don't know where they went. So I'm not sure if you're all with me still or if I'm on my own. Anyone here? No one here?